So I don't know about you, but I've always looked at Judgment Day, and I still feel like there's a chance there, because I think if you've got Rhea and Damian kind of occupying Finn and Liv, then what are Carlito, JD, and the other one doing, right? Dominic. I feel like Dominic's probably going to be involved in the Liv thing, but what is Carlito, JD going to be doing? I feel like they need occupying with something, because they can't just keep running in and trying to help out, right? I like the idea of Finn being, like, he's bitten off too much here. I like the idea of his betrayal upsetting the Wyatts, so they're after him. And he's got to still deal with Damian, right? All of a sudden, Finn thought he had everything under control. He thought this was a master plan. And now all of a sudden, it's just completely backfiring. And he's got that problem. He's got that problem. Like, I like the idea of a few things going on at the same time. So you might look at it and go, no, it should just be Liv and Rhea. And it should be Damian and Finn, and we just use the rest of the group to kind of support those feuds, and we might have to do the odd tag match and blah, 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 right? And that's fine. You can go that way. But I don't mind the idea of the Wyatt Six targeting Finn, targeting Liv, and have them go after the betrayers, if you will, go after Dom and terrorize, because I think that would be such good feuds. I mean, this new Judgment Day, I feel like they're going to need to move on to something after the whole Damian Rhea thing. But that just doesn't feel like it's going to happen for a little while. Doesn't feel like they're going to move on from these for a little while. So I think that I'd be looking to move them into that. Whether you need to just do a little something in between, maybe you just need a few, jobber matches, exception matches. I mean, if you think back to when the Wyatt family first arrived, they feuded with Kane. And then once they'd finished their Kane feuds, they just did a couple of little matches, really, just against different opponents. I remember matches against the likes of Kofi Kingston, matches against the likes of Zack Ryder, matches against the likes of R-Truth. And they were just doing that, really, until we got to the Daniel Bryan bit at the end of 2013, and that's when we started going after Punk and Bryan, and more Bryan because we were trying to bring him into the group, and eventually we do by the end of the year. And then, of course, that then leads to him turning on the group with that cage moment, where he finally rejects the Wyatts in early 2014. So I sort of feel like if we look back at how we booked the Wyatt family, it was different to how we've done this. It was very different, because the way that we've done this, we've stuck on American Made for much longer than we did with Kane. And we then moved on to just some odd little things before we got into our next feud. So if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say that we might not just go straight into a feud. We might do the odd little bit here and there against heels. We might do some promos. We might bring in Alexa. And then our next big feud, which is Judgment Day, might be closer to Survivor Series. Because by the time we get to Survivor Series, maybe they're kind of played out with the Rhea and Damian feud. And then we can do Wyatt Six against American Made. So a few different options, to be honest. But I feel like Judgment Day... or Street Trash, the new Judgment Day, they are surely in the future for the Wyatt Six.